Hi, thanks for joining me again. I love this section because it's such an unexpected treat. When we hear the word self-care, we often think of like massages and manicures and all this very superficial thing. And that might work for some people and that might work for some cases. But self-care has nothing to do with those things. Self-care, as I've identified it in the 5 seasons of connection, is a 10-part system. And we really need to get clear on what is actually lacking. So for example, if you have gone on a hike and you are hiking up a huge mountain and you are exhausted and you go into your backpack and it is hot and it is dry and your throat is scratchy, and you reach into your bag and you pull out your bottle of water and you unscrew the lid and you go to lift it up, and there's nothing in there. It doesn't matter how many manicures you are offered. In that moment, you need water, right? So when we think about wellness, when we think about self-care, it really is about breaking down most of the big categories in our life so we can identify what do we actually need. Because sometimes when we're in our relationship with our partner, we are not getting our needs met. And oftentimes we blame our partner for not meeting our needs. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But first of all, we need to know what our needs are, right? If we don't even know what we need, and we're just asking and saying, what about this, and what about this, and what about this, and what about that, and what about that, and they're just like, here, what about this, what about this, what about... There's a disconnect. You will never feel full because you're getting the wrong inputs. You are getting the manicure and not the water. So there are 10 components of self-care in our well-being wheel. And if we look at this wheel, we're gonna start at the top and work our way around like a clock. So there is the spiritual piece of our well-being. And this is really our purpose, our faith, our prayer, our connection to something bigger than ourselves. Our emotional well-being is feeling all the feelings and knowing that we will feel the entire spectrum of our feelings, and we can do that. We are capable of feeling all the feelings. The next piece is our relationship, and this is our love partner, right? This is our deepest, most profound adult relationship. Because when we are with our love partner, our well-being is very much mitigated on our being able to be happy and be fulfilled and be in sync and being connected to our life partner, right? So relationship is absolutely critical to our well-being. Our physical well-being, of course, is food and sleep and exercise and anything about our medical and our dental and our vision. And, if you think of your health benefits through work, like anything physical with your body is part of the well-being wheel physical category. Then we have social. And this is strong social connection to others. So this could involve your kids, but it also could be friends and your community and your neighborhood. This is really how you interact with people outside of yourself and your love partner. Your energetic well-being speaks to your mindfulness, your presence, your groundedness in your purpose and your flow. Your intellectual well-being is about your learning and your goals, your mastery of skills and activities that you have in front of you, intellectually analyzing information and processing information. Your environmental well-being is your relationship to nature and the spaces around you, either in your home, in your community, or on our planet. Our occupational well-being has to do with meaningful work. So that can be paid or unpaid. There are plenty of people who have unpaid work who are occupationally very fulfilled and satisfied. There are many people who have occupations and they're very unfulfilled and unsatisfied. So occupation really is about the work that you do. It is not about the money that you make or the benefits you get for doing the work. And then the last piece of well-being is our financial piece. So our earning, our spending, and our savings. So let's think about this for a second. There are 10 categories, and like the hiking example, you don't need a manicure when you need a bottle of water. How do you know what you need? And so if you are in conflict with your partner and you are struggling to find a way back together, and they are saying, let's go on a walk, let's go on a drive, let's go on something else, and you're like, that's not what I want, that's not what I need, that's not what's gonna fix this. You haven't quite gotten to the place where you can say, that sounds like a really good idea, but what I actually need is this. And so let's do this activity together to be able to learn how to do that. We need to be in touch with all 10 components of our self-care so that when we know where we're low, we know what we need. We're not gonna get the manicure when we need the water. So on this chart, you have 10 categories, and 0 is the lowest, 10 is the highest, and I want you to be honest. Are you sensing a trend with me in this course? It's always about honesty first. Because if you are lying to yourself, who are you helping? You are not helping you. You are not helping your partner. You are not helping the relationship as the third entity. You're not helping your children who are watching you in this relationship and learning about relationships from you. So it really does nobody any good. I need you to be honest for you. Where are you low? Where are you fine and high and full? Go category by category. Start at spiritual. Now, spiritual can mean religious or not. You can be very spiritual and never step foot in a synagogue, a mosque, or a church, or a temple, or anything, right? So it is how you define spirituality, which is just a connection to our universe, a greater power, our creator, any of those things, source energy, that's spirituality. Are you feeling full? You personally. Are you feeling connected? Do you have some practices that support your spiritual growth? If so, score yourself on that chart. If you're on the lower side, put yourself accordingly. Emotionally, how are you feeling emotionally? Are you feeling in control? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling satisfied that you are able to do things that you want? Are you feeling courageous and brave that you can go and be showing up in the world in a way that you want to show up? Or are you feeling very emotionally unsure? Are you standing on quicksand and sinking, right? Be honest and put yourself on that chart. If you are just drawing a line on the 7.5 right across, you're not being honest. That's not how you do this activity. It really should look like this. If you are full in absolutely every category, that's amazing, and that would be a first. I have never met anyone who has scored 10s across the board. On any given day, at any given time, something could need nourishment. Something in you needs a little TLC. We cannot give everything to everyone all the time. Something is going to be lower, and we need to know what that is so we can kind of regulate a little bit more. If you are feeling so professionally on top of the world, you just got a promotion, you are killing it at work, you are doing an amazing job, everyone is cheering you on, absolutely put a 10. Absolutely. But if your relationship is in dire straits and you are in often locking horns and conflict, do not put a 10. Do not. No 10 there. Put what it actually is. Because what we get to do is in your workbook, you will see lists of things that you get to select depending on the area that's low. What practices would you like to adopt and put in your self-care practice sheet? So on this sheet, you will see that there are lines for each of the categories and partner 1 and partner 2. So you get to decide, in my spiritual space, am I low right now or am I high? In my environmental space, am I getting out and walking? Am I planting a garden? Am I going between the trees? Am I going out on a lake? Am I enjoying the desert around me? Like, am I actually interacting with my environment? Am I feeling financially strong? Do I feel in control of my money? Am I happy with my savings, my earnings, my salary? And am I donating money to causes that I care about? How is my physical health? Am I moving? Am I sleeping? Am I eating healthy foods? Are all of those things coming together? If the answer is yes, those things are high and they are coming together, then you can still record some things that you would like to do if there comes a time when those things become low. But if you are already low in an area or 2 or 3 or 6, whatever, then go through the list and find something that you can add. If you are not feeling physically strong, but you just think, oh my gosh, my life is so crazy right now. I can't join a gym and do all the things and hike up mountains and kayak down rivers, but I can go to bed at 10:30 and I can drink 3 glasses of water a day instead of reaching for coffee or pop or, other caffeinated beverages or other things. I can drink 3 glasses of water a day and go to bed at 10:30. Write that in. That is amazing. And that will already have profound impacts on your health. So don't dismiss something because it's not the biggest, most elaborate solution. Sometimes it's the simple things that we really just need to tap back into and put back in our life to make profound differences, right? Small tweaks, big results. So go through this list, have your partner go through this list and itemize for every category what would be something that fits who you are that can be a practice to support that area of wellness. If you are intellectually stunted, if you are in a dead-end job and you are just sad and you don't feel like you're going anywhere, can you read a book that challenges your thinking? Can you write a book? Can you, join Toastmasters and go into, public speaking? Can you upgrade your skills in some way? Can you go back to school? Can you watch YouTube videos and learn a new hobby and, do wood carvings or something you've always wanted to do? Can you get intellectual stimulation outside of your job? Well, of course you can, right? But it takes intention. And so use this chart as a way to identify what are the ways that I want to boost my own self-care, my own wellness in all of these areas. Now, the fun thing is if you and your partner have the same idea. So if you want to, if you have the same intellectual self-care practice and you're like, oh, we want to take this course, and you take the course together, that is awesome. That is such a great ritual of connection. That is a shared experience. That goes in your journal as, oh my goodness, we took this course and it was so fun to have my love partner with me in this course. And we're doing it together, right? So there may be times that it aligns with you, but there might be times where your physical wellness practice is go back to yoga and your partner's physical wellness is get more sleep or go get a medical checkup or stay on top of my diabetes testing or, whatever, join a gym, something totally different. And that's okay too, right? They don't actually have to all be aligned, but you can see over time, if you do this once a month and you check in with yourself, you might think, wow, I'm on month 4 of occupational disaster. Like, what's going on with my job? What can I do to change things up? Can I get a transfer? Can I get a promotion? Can I ask to take on a new responsibility because I really am feeling stagnated, right? I'm watching this. It's been 4 months. No wonder I feel antsy and irritable and cranky and unhappy. My job is dragging me down. And that's what you're gonna see, especially in this activity. Over time, if you have low points that keep staying low, it will impact other things. If you have a physical ailment, if you have a bad, a bad accident biking down a hill and you hurt your back, your physical low score of self-care will absolutely impact other things. So it also helps keep you out of winter, that you can say, oh, you know what? I actually really hurt my back, and so I need to be even more intentional not to have my pain and my personal suffering impact negatively all these other things, all these other parts of me. So that means I need to get very clear on my spiritual practices. I'm going to read my religious texts, or I'm going to, be more reading my devotionals, or I'm going to journal more about my relationship with my creator. Or you can nurture your spirituality because you know this is a rough time. You know something is low. So can you boost yourself in other areas to help you through this personal storm? Absolutely. But it takes intention. So best of success, not only knowing where you are today, but integrating it in your life. We all have our phones with us all the time. Whatever today is for you, schedule a month from today and do this again. Say, you know what? On the 15th of the month, I pay my cable bill and I do a wellness check-in, and I'm gonna see how I'm doing, right? It will become more automatic. There will be a time where you can say, oh, I'm going into winter, oh, yeah, I know why. I've been sitting at my desk from sun up to sundown working on this project. I have not taken a walk outside in 2 weeks. I have not gone for a hike. I have not walked to the mailbox. I have not walked the dog. I have not sat outside in the sun. I have not taken a drive to the lake. I have not gone to the park. I've not been outside. So your environmental levels will be very low, right? Because you have not left your house. So then what do? What is the practice to do environmental self-care? Go for a walk in the forest, play Frisbee in the park, take your dog to the beach, whatever your practice is, do it. Do your practice, right? And help boost back up the component that's low. All right, thank you so much for joining me for self-care. There's always so much to talk about, but trust me, we are laying the foundation for this rock solid relationship rescue program. We have to start with us. Because imagine if you're still thinking that the problem in your relationship is your partner. Meanwhile, we just identified that you're not happy in your job. You're not happy with how physically unfit you feel because you sit all the time and you haven't been able to take a walk, and you're not even drinking enough water, and you feel pretty disconnected from your family. You have no social life. Of course it's not their fault, right? Of course your relationship is in strain because you have all of these things putting pressure on your self-care. So it's all connected, right? Now that we know this, we're like, wait a minute here. How am I being agitated at my partner when I'm on a really heavy duty timeline for my work? That didn't make sense. I'm displacing my anger. I'm displacing my frustration onto my partner. No, we don't have to do that. I'm gonna take responsibility because my wellness is my responsibility. And so that's why we spent time on this together. I appreciate your focus and your attention. I will see you in the next video where we talk about A and F, which is not Abercrombie and Fitch. I'll see you in the next video.